So it is my great honor now to bring Emma Glenn up to the stage. Emma is the sister of cancer warrior Olivia. And Olivia has battled 2 types of cancer, and Emma is here to tell her story.
Your sister has cancer. Your little 12-year-old spunky, compassionate, green-eyed cutie with sun-kissed freckles and a contagious, glowing smile has cancer. Immediately, I felt like I was emotionally drowning. Cancer was an uncommon word I knew very little about, but little did I know our family would pretty much be experts. The siblings' role in the situation is often forgotten. Not to mention how it feels when the sister or brother you're always used to have possibly couldn't be there the next day. My sister got diagnosed my sophomore year of high school with Ewing sarcoma. Yes, I had support from my friends, but little did people know how truly alone I felt inside. My friends got caught up in their own lives. I felt like a burden to ask for help from anyone. None of my friends could relate to how I felt, and I had no one to talk to express these images permanently lodged into my head as sickening flashbacks. I'll always remember the moments where I would lay in her hospital bed with her, wondering if she would even be out of here, or if she would ever smile like she used to before all this, or to hear her sweet laughter, or how both my mom and dad were never home, and me having to constantly hop house to house so I wouldn't have to sleep alone. Or how I saw my little sister not be able to keep any food down to where she lost so much weight, her body began to deteriorate, and skin seep into every bone and crevice of her body. How I would walk around school like nothing was wrong despite the pain, how my smile and constant I'm fine from comments to questioning people. My grades suffered greatly. I was once an AP student, but then my sophomore year suffered a C average that year, shoving every college opportunity I wanted to go to because I can't, because my head wasn't into school. Little did I realize, and people don't realize how much it is affected by cancer. Between the guilt and frustration of looking at my sister in the mirror as I brushed her hair and it followed in chunks on the bathroom floor, or her commenting saying, "Sissy, I wish I was pretty like you. I wish I had long hair like you. I wish I was just like you." I love being a big sister, but it's things like that where I really have to remain strong with a front on. The constant question is, why can't it be me? She's only 11. I do not understand why God gave it to her and not me. I wake up every day as a constant reminder not to sweat the small things and enjoy life's true joys. Liv was doing great until last fall, my junior year. It happened so fast, I was literally speechless. While she was away on a Y Club trip with her middle school, visiting the Capitol, she developed an odd rash on multiple parts of her body and stomach problems. My mom called me at school, and my dad had to end up taking Liv to the doctor, so then they ended up having to take Liv to the ER down at Scottish Rite. I immediately began to doubt the situation. Oh no, please God, not anything cancer related whatsoever, please no. That night, hours after my little sister got diagnosed with AML leukemia due to chemos and her previous cancer causing her to relapse. It was to that point where I didn't understand, but I had to trust God's plan despite my own personal feelings and how I wanted things to turn out weren't going to go my way. I remember my mom telling me in the room and me yelling, no, I can't do this. But if I can't, I can never imagine how Liv felt. What broke my heart is that she was almost emotionless when she found out. It's not that she didn't care, it's just the fact that she was so mean to all the nurses, poking, prodding, grabbing, medicine here and there. She just hates it and never denies it. No child should ever feel so. Within 24 hours, she was transferred from Scottish Rite to Eggleston. I remember calling some of my close friends of mine. Some majorly let me down. I sure know that some people don't know what to say, but simply saying I'm sorry doesn't bring a comforting mood into the situation. So many people who I thought were there for me actually weren't. I felt like I was grasping support from just anyone as long as I could get some. Then there was my friends who would just be there just for a few weeks and occasional, and then just drop off completely. I can honestly say I can name about 3 close people who were 100% there for me through all this. I can clearly remember all my friends' reactions to what's going on. I didn't eat for days, I couldn't sleep. It's not like I was going crazy. I just couldn't think about myself, only live at that time. I remember my relatives being right there through everything. Soon after, Liv began having breathing once she got transported to Eggleston. She fell while she was in the bathroom, her gums were bleeding, her braces were physically digging into her lips and gums, a bruise covering her entire chin and lower cheeks of her face when she hit her trash can at the hospital. I remember how they had to constantly drain the blood out from her mouth, or how her sweet little face was swollen to where I couldn't even see her eyes as they attached an oxygen mask so she could breathe. I remember sleeping on the couch that night. At least I didn't sleep because of the constant rushing in and out of nurses as her breathing slowed, or the sound of oxygen being pumped out of the mask and constant IV beeping. The worst sight I will never forget till I leave this earth is when Liv got transported to ICU. The way her ventilator forced air into her collapsing lungs, and how I couldn't even hear her sweet little voice, and how I would squeeze her hand and not be able to get an occasional squeeze back. The way she looked cannot even be described into words. No sibling, parent, or family member should ever see a child in that condition. It completely shook up my world. I felt cut off, alone, and everything besides that. The time the doctors sat my parents down, saying they did everything they could, but her organs were completely shutting down. Over 50 people, friends and family, we drove all the way to Eggleston and sat in the waiting room in constant prayers and crying out to God to save my sister's life. The next obstacle was finding a bone marrow donor. I remember people telling me, "Oh, Emma, you'll be her donor. Don't worry, you're the closest person to her, being her sister." I wasn't her match. My mom told me in the car weeks after my blood test to see if my cells were able to be compatible with hers, which weren't. Being in that position, I felt like I just sunk lower. I felt helpless and useless half the time during this journey. But I thought that amazing, life-changing moment where I could save her life and it'd all be over, but it was gone. I was always Liv's go-to person. She would always come to me for everything, no matter what. I got tired of hearing everything happens for a reason from people like a broken record or constant flush of emotions I would always maintain. How I felt like I lacked attention I needed as a person because of a sister. Most would only focus on Liv's needs as well as my parents. Week after week, Liv was still in ICU. Her body eventually slowly gaining strength as I grabbed little fragments of hope when they slowly wedged her off sedation and when she was able to squeeze my hand or when she took her first breath off the ventilator. Even though I'm her older sister, I look up to her, not just because she's strong, but for her charisma to impact others' lives and pull on heartstrings. Now she's home, hopefully going back to school in November. She's sitting at table 22 right there. I cannot thank Ms. Barber enough for her love and support for our family